Hello, tonight I'm hosting another meetup slash yarn swap. I actually was asking like the best way to go about this because I've never been to a yarn swap or done one before. So I actually reached out to Alexa from Material Girls. I'll put her Instagram here because I know that she's done a yarn swap in the past. The thing is, you could do like everyone just brings yarn, dumps it at a table and grabs whatever, but I want there to be like kind of a fairness. Not that I think people would be like trying to scam other people. You know, different yarn has different values and different amounts, but then also you could have people like initiate trades themselves. But like, what if one person has a yarn that they want but the other person has a different yarn that they don't want, and then it could be like a three-way trade situation. But I honestly liked her idea the best, where sort through yarn and organize it by like full skein, partial skein, and then scraps. So whatever you bring is what you can take. Obviously if there's stuff left over, I'm probably just gonna donate it or just have someone take it. I just filmed my current yarn stash video, so going through all of that made me like realize that I need to start using up some of this stuff. So with that being said, I actually started another groove warmer. So it's kind of funny because I think around this time last year is when I started knitting this groove warmer, which wasn't a groove warmer at the time. It was just kind of like a design idea I had in my head. So it was around this time last year that I started knitting this in the same colorway, and there's been many iterations since that point, but I found this yarn in my stash, so I was like, I'm just gonna knit another one. And also it's because I'm adding sizes to the groove warmer pattern. It is a single size pattern. I've gotten a few messages about like sizing stuff up, so I decided to just add more sizes to the pattern. I think I'm gonna add 2 more sizes, so like a small, medium, large. Thank you guys so much for being patient with me on that. Like, this is my first pattern, so like having the feedback from other people is really helpful. I want to get this done maybe this week or next week and have an updated pattern with new sizes. So if you've bought this pattern, I'll update it in Ravelry when it's ready, and you should get an email about the update, and I think you should have access to it. I need to do more research on that, but if you bought it through my website, just send me an email and I'll send you the updated pattern. I just love this color combo, and it kind of just reminds me of when I was first making these. So I'm gonna bring this to work on while I'm at the yarn swap, but I'm so excited. Alright, I'm back from the yarn swap now. I'm so tired. I haven't even eaten dinner yet, and it's like almost 9:30, but I wanted to show you guys what I got at the yarn swap. I had so much fun. I always have fun at these things, like, and I'm just so grateful for the fiber community here. Everyone is just so amazing, and everyone brought like really good stuff too. Like, there was a few things I'm like, I should have pounced all that earlier, but originally I was gonna have everyone like turn in the yarn and then like, sort it out and then give people tickets like, this is how many things of yarn you can take or whatever. But honestly, it was like a small enough group, and I trusted everyone to just like take as much as they thought that they brought, and I think that worked out fine because there was actually a lot of yarn left over. Like, more of like the cheaper acrylic stuff was left over, so I will say that, and like also scraps and stuff. Basically there was like a full skein area and then like a partially used skein area and then like scraps, and it was kind of just a free-for-all at that point. But let me show you what I got. So I got this cone, which my idea for this was actually to use this to ply with something else. I thought that would be really fun, and it's like already a really cool texture, so I think adding this, because I don't really love pink, like pink isn't like my favorite color or anything, but I think this mixed in a yarn like plied with something else, maybe like a darker like navy color, would be really, really cool. And there's so much of it, so I'm sure I'll find a use for this, mostly for plying. Also, speaking of plying, I got this to ply with something else, and then also this like yarn cone, which is kind of like a green, like a forest green color. And then I also got this 100% cotton, that's just white. I think I'm gonna dye this. And then I got this blue sky alpacas. It's kind of like a butter yellow. It's showing up a little weird because the light is really warm on the other side, but it is this really pretty yellow color. And then also someone brought this fiber, and it's so gorgeous. It's Teeswater, I think, which I don't think I've ever spun Teeswater, but this would be super cool to mix into a bat, and there was actually 8 ounces of it. So my friend Zoe and I ended up splitting it in half, so we both can spin. But yeah, I had so much fun. I was working on those groove warmers while I was there, and I'm gonna work on them tonight as well. But I had such a good time, and it was fun to see everyone, so. But I'm hungry and I wanna go to bed soon. This is my lazy girl meal. It's chicken pot stickers from Trader Joe's rice noodles, edamame, mushrooms, and bok choy.
Nice from you after the paper you turned in.
Good morning. I'm having actually the laziest day ever. It's not morning, it's literally 2:49, and I've just been like hanging out, which I feel like I needed. Like sometimes I get a little bit of a social hangover because I fully worked and then had the meetup, so I think I just needed to relax a little bit. Also, the weather is horrible. Like the cloud cover is crazy. Like it's just so gloomy out, but it's not raining, so it's not like a vibe, you know what I mean? I hate that. I hate when it's gloomy but it's not raining. Anyway, so I've just been like hanging out at home, but I did want to tell you guys I have a little secret. I'm moving this time next week. I will be moved out of my apartment and I'm actually moving home. So if it seems like it's super sudden, like it is, it's been barely a week. I think I had the decision to move like last Thursday and it's now Tuesday. So within like 5 days, this has all happened, which is kind of crazy. So I feel like I should probably explain the situation. Let me put you down so I can chat. Okay, so basically, if you remember when I was first moving to Chicago, I was saying that I was moving here on a sublease. So I was on a sublease from like the middle of May to the end of August. And then I didn't really have plans after that. Like I wanted to move here first and see how it went and everything. I didn't have plans for like after those 3 months, but the apartment, since they start like showing the apartment, I don't know, like 60 to 90 days before the lease is up. Basically, I was only moved in for a few weeks and then they were like, you need to tell us if you're gonna stay and re-sign for the year or we're gonna start showing your apartment. And like, I love the location of my apartment. It's so amazing. And I also just, the building is nice. Like it has all the amenities I need and the price is right. It's pretty cheap because it's such a small space. I wouldn't say cheap, but like relatively to this area, like it is affordable. So I didn't really want to give up this spot and I do really like it. So I was like, I'm just gonna resign if in the future I want to sublease. Since it was such a easy process to sublease, like on the other end of things, I was like, maybe I can sublease like next summer. People I feel like aren't moving that much in the winter time, which I was wrong about, but we'll get to that. So bottom line, I want to travel next year at some point and I just realized like I can't fully be paying rent and all my bills and then also buying plane tickets and accommodations and all of that stuff. I just don't really have room in the budget for both, so I decided to move home and I thought it would be a good time to move home now instead of like in the springtime, just because it's winter time. This place is definitely smaller. It wasn't an issue when I was like out and about all the time during the summer, but since I'm going out less because it's colder and darker, I just, if I didn't work mostly from home and then also have hobbies on top of that, like a physical hobby where I need like supplies and space to sew and spin and dye, like it would be a lot different if I was just not here that often. But since I am kind of a homebody and I do a lot of stuff from home, I think it would just benefit to have a little bit more space. So instead of moving to a new apartment, I thought I would just move home because then I have more space to be able to do those kinds of things. And I think if I didn't live at home for those 2 months earlier this year, I would feel differently about this, but I was a little bit worried about creatively stifling myself living at home in a way, but it was honestly great. I had space to like do more yarn dyeing. I haven't touched my dyes since I've been here because I just don't have the space for it. So genuinely, I am so lucky to have a home base like that where my parents would let me live at home and save a little bit of money. I do recognize that and I'm very, very grateful for that. So why it's happening so fast is because I kind of was thinking like, okay, I'll just finish out the rest of the year, move January 1st or whatever, and I just put the listing up on Facebook like, hey, sublease, blah blah blah, for January 1st. I got 40 messages, so there's a lot of people that are moving right now, or just I wasn't expecting that many messages, but someone reached out and said that they needed a place December 1st, and I was like, that's a whole month's rent that I could save again. And I was already like, my mind was already set on moving home. So the turnover is kind of crazy. Within a week, I went from fully just being here and existing to changing my life completely, which I feel like I've prepared myself with other big decisions I've made in the past to kind of make those kind of decisions on my own. And also I'm in a time of my life where I don't have like things tying me down, where it makes it easy for me to like move around like this. So I should take advantage of it while I can. By the time that you guys see this, I will have already been moved. which is crazy. By the way, I never mentioned, but my home is Minnesota. So if there's any fiber artists in Minnesota that want to hang out, I would love to do like a meetup like the ones that I do here. DM me on Instagram or like comment down below because I think that would be really fun. Also, I talked about this a little bit in my Q&A, but I have a partner. He's solo traveling right now, and the whole idea was that I wanted to live in Chicago, he wanted to solo travel for a little bit, and then next year, 2026, we would meet up and do a little bit of traveling together and or live together longer term, like a month-long kind of situation somewhere else before he returned from that. It got a little overwhelming having that in the back of my head, like, oh, I want to be able to do those things, but now I have this lease that goes until August, so just getting out of it now, and I don't regret staying these extra 3 months from like what I was expecting to be here, but because I really do love Chicago. Like, this is not a reflection at all of Chicago in general. Like, I love it here. I would move back here in a heartbeat if the time is right, but just like for right now, it's not aligning exactly with my goals like of traveling and giving more financial support to YouTube, and also like I want to do more yarn drops and stuff like that. So that's kind of a long explanation, but that's what's going on, and you guys might be a little shocked because I even had to tell my friends like randomly, like I saw my friends last week and didn't even think that I was moving, and then now this week I'm like, I'm moving. So it's starting to feel a little bit more real because like I've told people, and like my last day of work was yesterday, and then also people last night were asking like, when will the next meetup be? And I'm just like, that was heartbreaking. With that being said, I know I told you guys that I was going to the Philippines in January, which I still am doing that, but nothing is set in stone, but maybe I'm planning to extend that trip a little bit and travel to other parts of Asia. I'm just gonna ask, do you guys want to see like travel vlogs? Like, I'll still be making videos centered around fiber arts, and obviously I'm gonna be bringing like projects with me, but do you guys want to see like more travel vlogs as well? Is that something you guys are interested in? If not, let me know and I will stick to the regular content. But yeah, that's the gist of what's going on. So trust me, I'm also surprised. But that's kind of why I was just like hanging out today, because I know the next like week is gonna be kind of crazy with packing and then also just doing like last minute things like seeing people. So I gotta start packing. Good thing I didn't bring that much stuff here, and the girl that is subleasing for me is taking my bed, so I don't have to worry about moving my bed, which is super nice. So saying it out loud makes me sad. It's like a bittersweet thing, but I'm also excited to be home for the holidays. The Weaving Guild is there. I was doing some stuff like blending bats using the drum carder at the Weaving Guild in Minnesota, and I would love to get more involved in that. I have a ton more room to do some more dyeing stuff, so I'm really excited about all that in general too. Crazy. That's an update for you. Anyways, I'm gonna continue to do nothing probably for the rest of the day. Actually, I might go out for a walk because I need to get some exercise. Okay, I'm finally leaving my apartment because I'm gonna bring some books to like a little free library because I am not gonna take all my books with me. Honestly, I have a pretty good collection right now. Like, I have a bunch of like these Penguin classics that I want to keep, but I don't know, like, am I really gonna read like plays? I might take these. Like, these are the books that I'll be keeping, I guess. Also, look at this little alpaca. So I'm gonna bring all of these books to a little free library and then grab a coffee while I'm out. Or honestly, I'm on kind of a hot chocolate kick. Guys, today is like the weirdest weather. It's not weird at all. It's just like so gray and like, I honestly don't mind the cold as much as I care about like the sun not being out in the winter, like, because today just feels, there's a weird energy. Morning. Well, it's more like afternoon, to be honest. Right now I have like no schedule. I just finished up my like other job. I'm trying to finish up this pattern rewrite. I have a video to edit and I have to pack like all my stuff within the next couple of days. So I feel like I really haven't had like a routine at all, but I did finish this last night and I decided the thumb for the rewrite was like a little bit bigger than I was expecting, so I had to go back and redo it, which means I had to redo this whole part because I finished this part first, but this ended up working out pretty well. So this is the size 2. Obviously I'm not done with it yet. I'm gonna finish it later tonight, but this is the size 2, so it's a little bit more roomy. I still haven't blocked it yet, so it's not like the final size, but it'll be a size 1, 2, and 3, and mostly based off of the wrist measurement, just because I feel like hand size is a little bit harder to gauge, but it's also a little bit more adjustable than like the amount of stitches that you cast on in the beginning, so you don't have to like start it over. You can kind of decide as you go, like, oh, I think it should be a little bit longer, so I'm gonna knit a few more rows, you know what I mean? So I decided to do like the sizes based on the wrist measurement, because I mean, I do honestly have like bigger hands than the average, especially for like my height. I don't know if that's like correlated, but I do have like longer fingers than I think the average woman, so maybe that's something someone else would adjust, like the height of what this is, like the height it goes on your fingers. With that being said, I am about to send this new pattern to my testers. I have a few testers for the new sizes, and hopefully everything goes well. I love this one so far. I'm only gonna have enough yarn for one. It is 11:09. I haven't eaten anything. I've barely gotten out of bed, so I think I'm gonna do like a little bit of a stretch and then eat breakfast, and then I actually have a volunteer shift at the food pantry this afternoon. I can say where it is now because I won't be doing it anymore, but the organization is called Nourishing Hope, and it's such an amazing, like, well-run organization, at least from like the small bits that I saw when I volunteered. So I was like really ready to get involved with that. I signed up for a bunch of volunteer shifts, but now unfortunately I'm gonna have to cancel. If you guys are interested or looking for a way to get involved with some volunteer work this fall/winter, especially during the holiday season, check out Nourishing Hope. They were really awesome. So I guess it would be my last volunteer shift today, which I'm kind of sad about, but I have that at like 1, so I have a few hours, literally like 2 hours, so maybe I'll just stretch in my apartment. I don't know, it's a lot later than I thought it was. Pattern, stretch, eat, volunteer. See, I'm like very jumble brained right now. I haven't even like packed. I really just like need to start packing. But okay, I just got back from my volunteer shift. Well, I got back like an hour ago, but I was so cold because I was standing outside for most of it, so I took like a really hot bath, and now I'm eating a croissant. I think tonight I have to prioritize packing, so I have like most of my yarn packed, but as far as clothing, I just need to like take out stuff that I think that I'll be wearing. I'm just kind of procrastinating. I am a procrastinator, unfortunately, and I work well under pressure, so I have a few other things to do. I did contact the testers for the sizes on the pattern, and I'll be knitting 2 samples along with my testers. So yeah, keep an eye out for that updated pattern. It's already getting dark and it's 4:20. It's been so gloomy the last 2 days, but I think I'm gonna do a little bit of editing, and then I'm going over to my friend Zoe's house because she's gonna help me pick yarn for my next couple sweater plans. I have the winter's pullover, this Alma sweater, which is like a flowy cabled sweater, and then a cloud sweater. Those are my next 3 like sweaters that I've been wanting to make. I'm gonna bring like my iPad and have it all pulled up. Okay, I'm on my way to Zoe's apartment, but I stopped at this bakery called Genevieve's Bakery, and I believe it's Filipino owned because I did get an ube cupcake. They called it like a purple velvet cupcake, and then also a carrot cake cupcake for us to share, which I'm super excited. Back home now, and I think I mentioned that I am on such a sweater knitting kick after knitting my last sweater, that striped loopy studio cardigan. So now I'm like planning out some sweaters that I want to knit. I have a lot of sweaters that I have saved, so let me know if you guys want like a Ravelry sweater pattern video. I would love to make a little video on all the sweater patterns that I have saved. But yeah, I'm like dialed into finding the right yarn for the sweaters that I want to knit this winter, and I've been doing like so much math on the back of this envelope. But I made a cabled cardigan last year or 2 years ago. I kind of want to make it again and maybe write a pattern on it, but I have never written a pattern for a sweater, so a little bit up in the air on that. But I really like the opposite leaning cable, so I might kind of commit to making one of those as well and like really nailing down the design for that. Hopefully I can get them done. I think I'll have a lot of time to be knitting this winter, so. But I've been spending so much time on Ravelry. I'm like looking through everyone's projects, going to the yarn part of Ravelry and like seeing like different shades and different projects that people made in this yarn. I'm just like, and I'm so bad at making decisions, so it's taking a long time. My hair looks kind of crazy right now, but I just finished the video that I was editing, which was kind of the last big thing I needed to get done before I moved. So now that that's done, I can like focus on moving. It's a little bit of a mess in here. The other thing was that I didn't want to do laundry again because I was like, I don't want to pay for it, but I think I have money loaded on my card still, so like I should just use that up while I'm here and just come home with clean clothes. But I'm like, that's so much work. But I guess it'll just be me packing instead of putting away, because like, what's your guys' least favorite chore? My least favorite chore is putting clothes away. I despise it. I used to do laundry when I would do like a closing shift. I would do laundry like earlier in the day and try to put it away before, but I would always leave it until after work, and I would just come home and see all the laundry on my bed, and it was like the worst feeling ever. Maybe this time it'll be different because I don't actually have to put it away. I just have to put it in bags. So I have to do laundry, go through my craft closet, which is scary, and then kind of just start packing up things that I'm not going to need for the next week, because it is going to be like Monday where all my stuff is going to be moved. And I didn't hire movers or anything. Originally for Thanksgiving, this was before I even knew that I was moving, my best friend Maddie and I were going to drive together to go home. My parents offered to come pick up my stuff and me, but I didn't want Maddie to drive alone, so I'm still going to ride with her, but my parents are going to come here on Monday. So today is Thursday. They're going to be here on Monday to pick up my stuff, and they're going to stay with my grandpa the night before, visit him and stuff, and then come grab my stuff and then drive home. So mostly everything will be out by Monday, and then I'm here for 2 extra days, probably just living out of like a suitcase, and then I'll be still driving home with Maddie, so she doesn't have to drive alone, and we can hang out and spend time together, because I never see her. She used to live 20 minutes away, and then she moved to the West Loop, and now I just literally never see her. But anyways, I'm so grateful for my parents that they're even doing that, like truly the best. And my dad is the most extreme packer. Like, he could be on like a competition. It's crazy the amount of stuff he can fit in a car. Like, when I was packing to come here, I was like, there's no way everything's gonna fit. He unpacked and repacked the entire car and everything fit. Like, it was crazy. So that means I have like 2 less days to pack than when I'm leaving officially. Okay, also let me show you 2 knitting things. So I finished this groove warmer. This is the size 2, which it's still a little wet because I was blocking it. It's gonna be a little hard to show like the differences. Pretty much the length here is the same. This is a little bit wider, which it's hard to tell when it's not on, but there's a few more stitches casted on the original cast on. And then the thumb is a little bit wider. This is also a little bit taller. So that's kind of the difference. That's like pretty much the adjustments that I made for the pattern. I'm also starting a size 3 from the pattern to test it along with my testers. And this is actually Hobie Diablo quadrupled up, because I think a lot of people think that this is like lace weight, but it's not. Like, these 2 yarns, so this is not plied, this is plied double, but then I had to quadruple it to meet gauge with this one, or these 2. So quadrupled up Diablo yarn. So that is a size 3, and I will be working on this. Okay, good morning. I'm going out to lunch with my friends Zoe and Splash, and I made Zoe a little bat as like an early Christmas gift slash like see you later. I don't know. I'm Filipino, okay? I need to give gifts. So that is how it turned out. I love it. It's funny because I feel like she gravitates towards like lighter colors when she's doing like fiber arts and like spinning, but like she wears darker colors, so I was kind of going back and forth on like which colors I should blend for her, but I came up with this and I think she's gonna like it. I also have these 2 little stitch markers that I made. One's a bunny and a cat. And then also her cats love bag balm, so I'm gonna give them this bag balm, like this big massive thing, because I think cats like lanolin or something, so I thought this was kind of funny. So I'm gonna give her this, and then of course a little card with like fiber content and stuff like that. So she's coming to pick me up now, so I do have to go. We're going to QXY, which is my favorite dumpling place. This is kind of like a going away lunch, so I'm really excited to go there and get some soup dumplings because it is like one of my favorite meals in Chicago. I'm outfit repeating because I can't find any of my clothes in my apartment right now since I've started to pack them all away. I swear I had this one skirt that I wanted to wear today, but I have no idea where it is, so we're out of luck with that. I'm gonna put my sweater on over this, but since it's kind of hot in here, I don't want to do that until I leave, so I'll show you guys my outfit later. Also, there's this beauty store in Chinatown that I really want to go to. I've kind of been like more interested in makeup recently. I don't know if it's because of like the weather. Like I feel like the summer I don't really wear any makeup, and then sometimes like in the fall winter I want to like try new things, so I'm gonna kind of see what they have. Okay, I just got home. Let me show you what I got while I was out and about. I feel like I've been spending a lot of money, but I'm also saving a lot of money moving home, so might as well do it while I'm in Chicago still. I'm treating this last weekend as kind of like a vacation. I don't know if that's like the right thing to do, but I'm kind of just enjoying myself because why not? So we went to the dumpling place, QXY Dumplings, my favorite meal in Chicago. And then we went to the Chukwon Bakery, which is like one of my favorites. I got a red bean baby moon cake and then also a sweetheart cake, two of my favorite. I usually get the red bean pastry, but the last time I tried the red bean moon cake and it was so good, and it's kind of a little bit smaller, so I think since I got two, that was all I needed. And then I also got these Hello Kitty matcha green tea marshmallows because I got these actually for my mom for Christmas because she really likes matcha, and I think it'd be fun to make like a little matcha hot chocolate, but really just matcha with marshmallows, so this is fun. And then there's also a beauty store called Yamato Beauty, I think, and I bought this Judy Doll lip gloss, and it's actually cool. It's like a metal applicator. Can you see that? It smells like watermelon. I don't know if I love watermelon smelling things, but as you can see, it's on my lips right now, and I guess it's supposed to be pretty transfer proof, which like it honestly is. Like it still is glossy, but it's like a stain, so I'm kind of obsessed with it. And then we went to the stationery store called Atlas Stationers, which I actually saw on TikTok like yesterday, so that's kind of why I wanted to go there. So first I bought this little stamp, which I actually have another one of these. I got this one in Minneapolis, and they had this one, but they also had more, so I bought this little butterfly, like so cute. So I actually stamp like all of my books with this stamp. Like any book that I buy, I stamp the front cover, so that's why I love this stamp. But then yeah, this one is so cute. And then my planner, I usually buy my planners from Papier, but I wanted to try something a little bit different this year. I wanted it to be like a little bit smaller, and this is literally the perfect size planner. And also I really like how the weeks are small, but they have this full page on the side, because I feel like for me, like I usually prioritize things during the week, but not specifically like days on what I need to get done. So I think having like a whole other page to just like write stuff down instead of like day by day, because my planners are scary, you guys, like just very scribbly and like writing all over the place. But this is my one from this year, so this, I guess we're transitioning. I mean, look at the size difference. Like this will be nicer to travel with and stuff, to bring with me places, even though I do like Papier planners, I will say that. I usually get my boyfriend's mom one for Christmas, so I still will be buying some stuff from Papier this year. Let me like flip through this. It's so cute, you guys. And this is a Midori planner. That's what she looks like, and I already stamped the front page with my new stamp, like a yearly schedule. I feel like this would be a good spot for like birthdays, and then each month has like a new kind of theme. So cute. Like this one, oh my gosh, fall time, love. It's just such a nice planner. And like I said, I love having like so much space in one week because I feel like I'm literally just like writing notes, and this is like the perfect amount of space. Hi, I'm working on another groove warmer. So I had to like quadruple the yarn. So what I did was I split these up and then I wound them to be double plied, and then to make them quadruple plied, I'm like plying the double plied together. Once again, I mean, my last project I was literally working with so many balls of yarn at a time, and now I'm making it hard on myself and continuing to use like 4 balls minimum. But I think it's honestly working out really well, and this is going to be the size 3, so it should block out a little bit nicer, but it is feeling a little bit more roomy. But yeah, a lot of people are having like issues with the tension. I think I just knit it really loose because there's a lot of fabric on the back side, so you're not leaving holes, so you can get away with knitting a lot looser, if that makes sense. I've just been working on this all day. I've just been locked into packing pretty much all day today, so I didn't really film anything. I have like these moving bags, but I only have 3 of them, so I started like shoving all my clothes into these trash bags, which should be fine. It's just clothing, so that's that, but it looks so crazy in here. But I'm gonna go out to dinner with my aunt that lives here as like a little going away dinner. I think it's like a French Mediterranean restaurant. I've never heard of it before, but I'm excited because I don't really want to cook because all of my stuff is everywhere. Almost everything is out of my apartment. My parents came today and helped me pack up their car, and then they're gonna drive home, and I'm so grateful for them because truly I wouldn't have been able to do this alone. Like I would have crashed out. I'm literally laying on this tarp because I had everything on my bed, so I put this tarp down, but there's really just like my bed. I have a duffel bag and then a few little things that I'm gonna put in Maddie's car. But yeah, all my kitchen stuff is gone, and then I realized like I need to eat dinner, so I usually reserve it for like an occasion, a thing to do with friends, but I am gonna go out to eat alone tonight because I don't know, I'm just feeling like treating myself a little bit, and obviously I can't like cook anything, and I've been really craving Chinese food, so I'm gonna go to this place called Yuyi. I've actually never heard of it before, but it's in the Asia on Argyle area, and I was gonna do takeout, but honestly I'm just gonna eat there. I'm just gonna eat alone at my table. I might like bring my Kindle or just kind of enjoy the moment. But yeah, I'm in my pajamas still, so I might change it to like jeans or something, but I only have like a few things like in my duffel bag because I literally have tomorrow and then I'm leaving on Wednesday, so. That place had so much nail polish. I've never seen that much nail polish in one place. And I got a bunch of stuff for my friend Hannah because we were on FaceTime when I was in there, but I got like 7 nail polishes and it was like $22, I think. On the overhead lighting. I'm sitting here on the floor drinking my taro milk tea. I felt so bad because I quit drinking caffeine like 2 months ago. Honestly, best decision ever for like my anxiety, and I don't really talk about it that often, but I have contamination OCD and I have been able to manage it very, very well, and I think it's really because of the caffeine, because I quit drinking caffeine because of sleeping issues. Like I feel like I'm super sensitive to caffeine, and one day I drank like, it was just some like black tea at like noon and I couldn't sleep like the entire night. It was crazy. I'm kind of like microdosing exposure therapy for myself, which I'm not in therapy right now just because I've had a lot of like health insurance switches this year, so I'm trying to kind of like tackle it on my own, which is brave of me. But with that being said, quitting caffeine has been such a game changer, which I miss it, but at the same time, like, what am I missing? But going back to the milk tea, I felt so bad because I had to ask her like 3 times, like, this doesn't have caffeine, right? Because like I would literally tweak. It's like 8 p.m. and it just would have been a bad night for me, so I felt kind of bad about that. But I guess they don't use, because some places use like tea and the taro milk mix or whatever, but I think they just used the mix for this one. Anyways, this is really good, and I just had a really good like take myself out for dinner date, which was on the list for goals for the month, so I'm glad that I did that. Let me show you the nail polishes I got, because you guys know this is my favorite color, and I had it in a nail polish, but now I'm like, I don't know if it's gonna look good on my nails, but at the same time, like, these kind of look good together. This is like a burgundy color and like this bright yellow color, which I'm obsessed with. If you watch my yarn stash video, I was talking about how this is like a neutral in my head. Like, it genuinely looks good with every single color. My friend Hannah wanted me to grab some things for her, so I got this red, which I think I'm gonna steal because it comes in a pack, like the gel and then the regular nail polish. D&D 456 Cherry Bomb, and then just like a white and a black. Okay, that was my last meal in Chicago. I was a little bit worried because I usually have leftovers, but I didn't want to bring it with me, but I like absolutely smashed that dish. It was so good. And now my belly is so full. I also feel like I'm super excited to go home because obviously the kitchen I had is so small and I feel like it really limited me on like what I could make, so I'm excited to like experiment with cooking new dishes and stuff. So that's another reason to be excited to go home. Last couple moments in this apartment. My friend has picked me up in like an hour, so I should be out completely by then. First, let me show you my road trip projects. I have this groove warmer that I'm working on, and then I also have kind of a more mindless project, this headband, which it looks small, but I think it's gonna block out. I redid it with the provisional cast on, and then I'm gonna fold it over and do like the Kitchener stitch, so it'll be a double-lined headband. But yeah, I kind of am just sitting here reflecting on my time here in Chicago. I feel like this is the first apartment that I ever lived alone in, which was definitely an adjustment. I feel like the self-sufficiency aspect of just like making all decisions by yourself and also just having no one else to rely on is a little bit scary, but at the same time I think it definitely like builds your confidence just in general as a human. There's pros and cons. Obviously there's a lot more loneliness, and going days without talking to anyone just feels kind of weird, but overall I enjoyed it. I think I had a lot of anxiety around living alone and like moving to a new city alone, but now looking back on it, it's like everything worked out and I just really enjoyed my time here, and all of the people that I met, like truly so grateful. And then I'm also just so lucky to have a support system that literally will support me in anything that I do, and I'm just so grateful for everyone. I feel a lot of gratitude today. Well, tomorrow's Thanksgiving, so that's good. I'll keep it rolling through the holiday, but although there's a lot of uncertainty in the next chapter, like I don't know what I'll be doing. I obviously am moving my stuff home, but I'd like to travel next year. I also was looking into doing some like volunteer farm work in America or anywhere else, honestly. So I think that could be a really good option, but just there's a lot of uncertainty, and I feel like all of the big decisions and like my life experiences up until now have made it easier to go through transitions like this and make bigger decisions. So even though those big decisions were really scary at the time, like it's just priming me to be more flexible and experience more things, you know? I'm trying to embrace that, like being in your 20s, there's a lot of uncertainty, and I feel like for me, the uncertainty is almost required in order to be more certain of what you do want in the future. Like maybe in my 30s, not that there's a deadline to anything, but I feel like having the uncertainty now and like going through these decisions makes life easier going forward. And that is what I've experienced in my short 26 years on Earth, but you should experience new things and expose yourself to as much as possible so you know what you do like, what you don't like. I'd rather go through all this discomfort now than be in the future thinking like, what if, or like, what is that like? You know, like I want to experience the things that I'm curious about and really dive into all of that at this time in my life. So I feel like that's just kind of the mindset that I have. I just had such a great time living here in Chicago, and I do want to move back at some point, maybe have a bigger apartment than this one. I'm gonna miss all of my friends here. I had to say a lot of goodbyes this week. Also, just moving so suddenly was kind of like, whoa. But also I want to say thanks to you guys. Like having the flexibility in my life like this is a reflection of you guys being here to support me, like, and then also just like the warm welcome to Chicago from you guys. Like I've met so many fiber friends just from you guys like messaging me or showing up at my meetups and stuff. Like truly, if I didn't have this community, like my experience in Chicago would be a lot different, because I've met so many people through fiber arts and it's truly just like such a dream of mine. And like that's why I try to put in the effort to build community around my hobbies and stuff and help people connect in that way too. Like I really love seeing that. Like that's truly so rewarding in my experience. See people connect and talk and have great conversations and like bring people together. Like truly, that is like peak moment for me. I think I would have been a lot more nervous moving to Chicago if it hadn't been for you guys reaching out and just being so kind and welcoming and saying like your favorite things to do in Chicago and inviting me to do stuff. Like I love you guys so much. And look, the sun just came out for the first time in days. This must be a sign. Anyways, I think that is all. Sorry if this was a long chatty vlog. I feel like it might have been kind of boring, but at the same time, like we can just chat. We can chat like you're my friend. I don't like holding secrets from you guys, so it feels weird that I'm moving and you guys don't even know yet, but you will soon. I'm gonna try to post this ASAP. So truly grateful for you guys. Like I love you guys so much, and I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.